you by Bethel College School of Technology. Learn more at bethelcollege.edu/Ken. And I think this is actually really interesting. This is a Fox Business article I have in my hands. And, sometimes I get irritated with these things, these quiet quitting terms and quiet firing. What are some of the other obnoxious ones that are out there? Who knows? But this one, I actually said, I thought, now this is actually really good. Let me set the scene. 75% of the global workforce not engaged. That does not mean that 75% of the global workforce hates their job. 75% of the global workforce is not engaged. They're not fully engaged. All right, that's our overarching backdrop. Okay, let's look at this. What is emotional salary? This is just simply the non-monetary aspects of the job, such as the culture of the organization, the opportunity for growth and progress on the career ladder, if you will, and work-life balance, which we were just talking about. So we're going to stay on the subject. So this is how it's actually defined specifically. An employee's emotional salary is the measure of whether they feel rewarded beyond pay. So, in other words, emotional salary is, what are my rewards beyond my paycheck? What are the rewards for showing up at this organization beyond my paycheck? This is really, really interesting stuff. Achievers Workforce Institute did some study on this, and one of their authors of the report said employees who feel their efforts and work go unnoticed are in turn more likely to underperform, disengage, and eventually quit. No surprise here. I talk about this stuff all the time. Key word here is recognition. Frequent and meaningful recognition is a critical driver of emotional salary, increasing a sense of belonging, engagement, and productivity, ultimately lowering turnover. Now, that's worth repeating, leaders. And for those of you who aren't in a leadership position, you're starting to wonder, am I wrong? Am I feeling the wrong feelings? No, if you don't feel recognized, you are only continuing to hurt yourself by staying in an organization that does not recognize you for your unique contribution. It's a slow emotional cancer. If you don't feel valued because you're never recognized for your unique contribution, it is only a matter of time before emotionally you go, I won't stay here anymore. It's that simple. So, if frequent and meaningful recognition is a critical driver of emotional salary, hello, leaders, we should probably systemize recognition. I want to back this up because this is a new report, but I've said it on this show 100 times. I'll say it 100 more. Gallup has done the largest study of engagement in the world, and they came away with 3 clear human needs that must be met to drive employee engagement. Meaning and purpose in your work, recognition for your unique contribution, and a relationship with your leader. Does not mean a best buddy going on vacation with your leader. It speaks more to that coach-player relationship. But I understand the second human need, recognition for your unique contribution. I go a step further and tell you I believe that must be done publicly and privately. Don't just recognize them for their unique contribution privately, although that's vitally important. Recognize them in front of other people. Recognize them in front of their teammates. Hey, Jill, I see what you're doing. Your data crunching is awesome. It helps me, right? That makes someone feel something beyond just, well, I think I'm doing a good job. No, you just told them, atta boy, atta girl, right? We all need that. Okay. So I want to get into some practicalities here. Okay. The report found that there are 5 ways that leaders can increase employees' emotional salary. So you want them coming in, again, one more time, just kind of set this up, okay? Yeah, you want to show a path to greater income. But you also need to constantly be addressing that inner small voice. Do I want to stay here? Do I want to be here? Do I enjoy being here? Constantly address that. Because if they're constantly asking that question, and they are subconsciously many times, and the answer is yes, because I feel good being here. Now, by the way, this isn't mamby-pamby kumbaya, sit in a circle and say, I see you, you're special. It's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about tangible, specific recognition. All right, here are the 5 ways that leaders can increase emotional salary. Cultural alignment. Cultural alignment. That's fancy speak for you should hire people that are a good culture fit, right? Hire people that are a good culture fit, because if you hire somebody who on paper is an absolute ace for the job, but their values and your company values are not in alignment, it's not going to work as well as it could, and eventually it's just not going to play out. It might be for a season. It's not going to be long term. It's not. So this is huge in the hiring process. So the flip side of that is if I hire somebody that's a great culture fit, guess what? We get the organic emotional salary. Man, they feel like they belong. We all long to belong. These are my people. I come to work every day and I'm surrounded by my people. It's huge. 2, the recognition piece, and I've talked about that in detail, but this just backs it up what I said. You recognize them regularly. 3, work relationships. Foster fun. Foster fun within teams. If you've got a team of 7 people, find ways to constantly be having fun or eat together so that we are relating to each other. And as we are relating to each other, we are building relationship. Work relationships, huge. I think so many leaders focus on the efficiency of the team over the relationship of the team, and I would flip it. If I was put in a position, and I'm not in a position, of day-to-day leading a team, can I tell you what my first focus would be? The relationship of the team. I want to watch them interacting all the time, and if I see tension over here, I'm going to address that. And if they can't figure it out, guess what? I'm moving somebody. I'm telling you, that would be my number one focus as a manager, is the relationship component of the team. Then we work on the efficiency. By the way, the greater they relate, the greater they collaborate. Somebody ought to write that down. That's pretty good. Feedback. Feedback. The more feedback loop we've got going on, the more regular the communication is, let me tell you something. That is emotional salary. You're putting it in their bank. They know where they stand. This is huge. We all need to know where we stand at all times. Because when we don't know where we stand, guess what happens? We begin to fill it in with incomplete information and many times incorrect information. And you want to talk about watching their emotional salary drop, have a person wondering, where do I stand? Finally, you better give them a track for growth. A track for growth. Hey, you do this, you keep doing this, you're going to get promoted. Here's how, here's when, here's where. Great. I see a path for growth. Massive emotional deposit. So, quick review. You want to increase employees' emotional salary. In other words, they're really rewarded for coming in beyond their paycheck. 5 ways. Make sure they're a good culture fit and create a good culture, for heaven's sakes. 2, recognize them for their unique contribution. 3, foster relationships among the team. 4, clear feedback loops all the time. 5, give them a path for growth. You do that, and you are constantly depositing in their salary of emotion, and now they're going to stay with you much longer. Launch your tech career today at bethelcollege.edu/Ken.